Good morning, viewers. Today I am present before you with the poem of Matthew Arnold, Dover Beach. In today's podcast, I will be giving you the analysis of the poem. Before I begin the podcast, it is advisable that you keep a notebook and a pen so that you can jot down the important points relating to this particular topic. It is further advisable to use earplugs for listening to the podcast. So here I begin. Dover Beach is Matthew Arnold's best known poem. Written in 1851, it was inspired by two visits he and his new wife Frances made to the south coast of England, where the white cliffs of Dover stand, just 22 miles from the coast of France. Many claim it to be a honeymoon poem, and that is understandable because romantic love, albeit of a Victorian nature, features strongly here. Yet, for all the popularity of this particular work, Arnold himself was a sort of reluctant poet. He made his living as an inspector of schools and cultural critic and wrote influential books such as the curiously titled Culture and Anarchy. He couldn't stop the muse from surfacing, however. He said of poetry, I quote, "More and more mankind will discover that we have to turn to poetry to interpret life for us, to console us, to sustain us." It has to be remembered that he was writing at a time when religion was under tremendous pressure from the sciences and evolutionary theory. Technology was taking a grip on life. Matthew Arnold thought that poetry would replace conventional religion and become the new spiritual force in society. Dover Beach broke with the old forms poetically. It is an open-ended poem that has irregular rhyme and rhythm and follows no classical template. Dover Beach is a complex poem about the challenges to theosophical, existential, and moral issues. Important questions are raised after reading this poem. What is life without faith? How do we gauge happiness and loneliness? What gives life meaning? The first stanza starts with a straightforward description of the sea and the effects of light, but note the change in pace as the syllabic content forces then relaxes with long and short vowels, mimicking the sea as wavelets shift the pebbles. The moon lies fair upon the straits, and again gleams and is gone, glimmering and vast. Then in lines 6 and 9, there is an invitation to come and fill your senses for the reader or for the speaker's companion. The speaker, despite momentary excitement, concludes that the moonstruck sea evokes sadness, perhaps because of the timeless monotony of the waves. A certain melancholy flows into the second stanza. Note the allusion to Sophocles here, a Greek dramatist, which brings a historical perspective to the poem. His play, Antigone, has an interesting few lines. I quote, "Happy are they whose life has not tasted evils, but for those whose house has been shaken by God, no mass of ruin fails to creep upon their families. It is like the sea swell when an undersea darkness drives upon it with gusts of Thracian wind. It rolls the dark sand from the depths, and the beaches, beaten by the waves and wind, groan and roar." Unquote. So the tide becomes a metaphor for human misery. It comes in, it goes out, bringing with it all the detritus, all the beauty and power contained in human life. Time and tide wait for no man, so the saying goes. But the waves are indifferent, hypnotically following the cycle of the moon. Stanza 3 introduces the idea of religion into the equation. Faith is at low tide, on its way out where once it had been full. Christianity can no longer wash away the sins of humanity. It is on the retreat. Matthew Arnold was well aware of the profound changes at work in Western society. He knew that the old establishments were beginning to crumble. People were losing their faith in God as the advancements in technology and science and evolution encroached. This vacuum needed to be filled, and the speaker in stanza 4 suggests that only strong personal love between individuals can withstand the negative forces in the world. Staying true to each other can bring meaning to an otherwise confused and confusing world. It's as if the speaker is looking into the future with regard for the past, declaring love for a special companion or love for all humanity. To be the way forward if the world is to be survived. Wars may rage on, the evolutionary struggle continue. Only the foundation of truth within love can guarantee solace. Hence, we can say Dover Beach opens with a quiet scene. A couple looks out on the moonlit water of the English Channel and listens to the sound of the waves. Then, all of a sudden, it zooms out, and we mean way out. The sound of the waves makes the speaker think first of ancient Greece. Then he turns the sound of the surf into a metaphor for human history and the gradual steady loss of faith that his culture has experienced. The poem ends on a gorgeous, heartbreaking note with a couple clinging to their love in a world of violence and fear and pain. So, this was all about the poem Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. I hope the podcast proves to be of help to each one of you. Please leave your observations in the comment section below. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icon for latest update. Thank you for your valuable time. Here's wishing you all a great day ahead.